Okay, now coming to Shivalayam, one day rice goes inside that Sannadhi. It's called Annabhishekam. It happens roughly in that Margazhi period, around that end of Kartika, throughout Margazhi or before Thai. That period it will come. Annabhishekam. Aipasya. That means slightly before that Kartika Masam it will come. And the entire lingam, that to Brihadishwara, imagine. Other lingams are fairly approachable. Brihadishwara, Gangai Konda Chodapuram, you need in the entire fields of Tanjavur district there. So that is called Annabhishekam day. One day that Pathu concept is kept aside. And then that is taken. Now this Annabhishekam, Annakutotsavam was done for Govardhana Parvatam. Imagine, Vedanta Desika says, before Govardhanam is another hill. Because this rice, cooked rice is kept like a hill. But this looks like Kailasham. Correct. Before Govardhanam is this cooked rice which is kept like a hillock, like Kailasham. Now in Himalayas, now look at Vedanta Desika's imagination. In the Himalayas, it is very unpredictable. See, we have taken people to Muktinath twice. Many people will ask me, sir, once more you please do Muktinath, we want to come. But the only problem that I have is the moment we announce in the next 12 hours, we will have 150 people who would have paid the money. The question is not about entry of applicants. It is not about payment. It is about the risk. 150 people have to take. And generally I'll say I'll take you by flight here, helicopter. But Himalayas is so unpredictable. If you go there, suddenly one hill will go missing. Landslide. So, even without our dear politicians mining it, it will disappear. Suddenly the water level will rise. So, I am worried. So, unpredictable climate in the Himalayas. Just because it is summer season, don't imagine there won't be rain. Suddenly there will be landslide. So, on the Himalayas, you will see dark clouds. So, white snow-capped hills with dark clouds. Now, imagine the Annakutam that has been placed is like Kailasha. Now I need a dark cloud. So Vedanta Desika says Pulikachal is kept over it. Why? Because Pulikachal is dark because technically if you are a cook, the man or the woman, whoever is seated there, if you are a cook, if you have seen which direction the kitchen is in your house. So in the kitchen, if you make this thick, very well boiled and cooked tamarind paste with 21 ingredients, it has got, right? You have to make it, it is called Pulikachal. If you are a cook, you will make it with old tamarind. Pudu pulila panna nannave varad. Puriyudha? Arishiye pudu arishiya irundha ottikum. So, certain varieties, tubers have that question. As they get old, they will be taste better. So, Pulikachal is made from old tamarind. So, old tamarind concocted paste called Pulikachal is like the dark cloud that hovers around the white snow-capped Himalayas, says Vedanta Desika. So, in the north of India also, Puliyodharai was made. Uttar Pradesh also, now they may not know, oh, kya hum nahi banate the? Nahi, jab kanhaiya the, to tab banate the. Uske baad, Dakshin Bharat aa gaya Puliyodharai. Now he says, this is the example he gives. Now, when we have to have an event in our house, some good marriage or some function, we pray, Bhagavan, please protect us. It should go without any obstacles. But in most Vishnu Alayam, more than the Bhagavat Sannidhi, which are the other Sannidhis that garner a lot of attention and devotee support? Garuda. Very good. Chakratalvar. If you go to Srirangam, Namperumal will be free. In the Chakratalvar Sannidhi, you will find at least 500 people. All students will go around. Chakratalvar will have vertigo. எதுக்கு சார் நம்மளை போட்டு நம்மளே சுத்துறோம்னா நம்மளே இவாள்லாம் எதுக்கு சார் சுத்துறோம்? You go to Srirangam, what I am telling is the truth. Chakratalvar Sannidhi will be filled Whereas Bhagavan will be saying, Sarva dharman parityajya moksham ishyami. I will give you moksham. Nobody wants moksham. So it will be empty. So if you go to Chakratal Vasanadi, it is filled. So we believe the one who protects us is Sudharshana. Correct? You're able to get that point. Now who is protecting the cows and who's going to protect the cows and calves from the torrential rain caused by Indra? Who's protecting them? Krishna with Govardhana. How does Bhagavan hold the chakram in his hand? Like this. So Bhagavan held the one that protects the devotees called Sudharshana like Govardhana in his finger. So Govardhana appeared like chakra now. Puriyarda? What is the chakra's name? Sudharshana. Now when Bhagavan held a mountain like Sudharshana, he was Darshana. He appeared very well. Su means good, well. Dressed Darshana. So he appeared very well when he carried that hill. Now Indra wanted to trouble these people, so there was torrential rain. Avanchitan yuna payaf pradanan aradhakan kalamiyantam indraha ahara karshad abhihantu maichat kritana bhigneshu kiman rishimsam. So Indra poured waters. Now, can you tell me one astronomical element that you see in the sky? Don't go till the planets. In the sky, which is related to Indra? Clouds. Very good. Lightning. Very good. Lightning. What does lightning remind you of? Of Indra? Vajrayudam. Anything else? Thunder. Thunder comes along with the lightning. But yeah, cloud correct. That lightning like Vajrayudam is correct. Third. Rain. Indra pours, but Varuna is that water. Very good. Who said that? So, it is the rainbow. What is it called? Indra Dhanush. So, Vedanta Desika says, Indra had two weapons it seems. One, the rainbow called Indra Dhanush. Second is Vajram called the lightning. You cannot deploy both because lightning will generally not occur when the rainbow is there. Because rainbow is a sign that the rains will come down. Because the moment it is raining and slowly the sun rises, as the sun rises and the rain comes down, you will get the rainbow. So rainbow means cessation of rain, but it is going to pour now. So Vedanta Desika says Indra had both Indra Dhanush and Vajram. He broke the Indra Dhanush and said, I don't want Indra Dhanush, I will use only Vajram, which means there was torrential rain. You're able to get the point. See, that is poetic imagination. He says, Amarsha Vega the Chamat Kriyothat Jigukshata Vajramakuntha Viryam Alakshi Jimuta Rathe Maghona Moghakriyo Mukta Ivendra Chapaha. Iva Indra Chapaha. Indra Chapam is Indra's bow. That he broke. No, there is no more rainbow. I will not stop the rains. Let there be rain. So he used Vajrayudam. Right. Now, he continues in another place. Now, the entire place was flooded. What do we call it? Cloud burst. Correct? If you go to Himachal Pradesh, every now and then there will be cloud burst. Imagine whatever rain has to come in 2 days comes in 10 minutes. It will just pour. Houses will be washed away. You can't imagine, because the world's tallest, largest mountain system is the Himalayas. Between Tibet, some parts of Central Asian countries, Kashmir, Ladakh, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Sikkim, Bhutan, some parts of Myanmar. That's the range of Himalayas. When you look at the Himalayas, you can't even see where the mountain will end. Such large hills. That is the size. Now when the rain comes down, The entire village was flooded. Now, their aluminium vessels, the TV that they got in the last election, one washing machine, cylinder, Ujjwala Yojana, all of that was floating. So slowly that was going across. Now people, they were also swimming. The cows' heads were outside the water. They were all in the apartments in Lakeview Road. Right? Lakeview Road, they had constructed. Lakeview. You know, Lakeview. You can view the lake now. So all of it, they were all coming. So as these aluminium, that said refrigerator was going, this say Onida TV was going. So they were all floating. They all swam towards Krishna's house. Krishna's father Nandagopa alone had made a strategic decision of constructing his house 5 feet above the ground, not at the road level. So in his house alone, there was no water. They knocked at Krishna's door. Now they opened the door. Krishna was having savories. So he's like our bus traveler. In our bus, we keep on eating something, right? That was Krishna. So something Krishna was having. He was Deshikadaya Yatri. Vaya mudda ve matter. So full day we give work to our digestive system. If our digestion system had a mouth to blabber or express its melancholy, it would have cried. Yo, yapapatana vela kudutunde irukka ara vaai potu moodave maatengiraru. Yeah, so that is our digestion system. Somehow it is functioning till now. That is the right. If it had been any mixie, the washer would have gone. Mal and the jet poidum. So no mixie will last more than 3 years. Have you seen? But our system alone is grinding acid. So now here, all these people came towards that house. Krishna was eating. They opened the door. Krishna said, "What happened?" They said, "It is pouring. Can't you see? You don't open your windows. You just can't see what's happening outside." Krishna said, "What should I do? Look at the cows and the calves. Deko, gaiko." So he looked. They were all looking very, very troubled, in a very bad state. Now, how were these gopastris? Their bodies were wet. See, he's a poet. See, at the end of the day, Vedanta Desika is a poet. He cannot say, "Oh, it poured heavily. The rain level was 32 centimeter." He is not a weatherman. He is not Ramanan. Right? He cannot give that weather report. Now, he has to tell us as a poet. Vadita danta veenaha swastika bahubandaha swastika bahubandaha. Their hands were swastika bahubandaha. So their clothes were attached to their bodies. They were wet. They were completely wet. Stanahita swastika bahubandhaha styanalakaha sannata vaktra padmaha. Their mouths were like lotuses. They were confused whether to close or open. So those were lotus-like mouths, confused whether to open or close, because they will generally open or close only during the sunrise or the sunset. But now they were confused. There was no sun. But they didn't know how to close. Vilagna deha vasanairya dikshan brajastriyo vadita dantaveenaha. Even those women who had never known Shastriya Sangeetam started playing veena with their teeth. You do that, right? So they started playing. See, imagine the poetic beauty, how this poet can think. So this was the... Now it appeared as if, he says, Tandavam was being played in the skies. The poet says it appeared as if the Tandavam was being played on the sky. Now, Krishna took all of them. See, this is the beauty. He says, Krishna took all of them to the place where there was Govardhanam. Now look at Krishna's strategy. Krishna told them, don't worship Indra. You're already doing yajna to Indra. Don't do extra things. Worship the volunteers who are partaking or who are helping you in the process. Example, Govardhanam. They all believed in Krishna. They did puja to Govardhanam. Now Indra is showing his anger. Now if Krishna doesn't use Govardhana to protect them, then these people will say, Krishna, it is because you said that we had to abandon Indra and we had to take up to Govardhan. But when we were in trouble, Govardhana didn't seem to help us. So Krishna has to use Govardhana to protect them, to make them believe that Govardhana is the one who's protecting them. So he took them all the way there and lifted the mountain. Now you have to pay attention to it. What Vedanta Desika says is, Adhomukhavasthita meru kalpam shailam tamutkhaya sharanya gopaha udanchayan satvara murdhva moolam shakre mahendram shamitardhagarvam. To bring the arrogance of Indra down, shamitardhagarvam, Adhomukam, he lifted the mountain. See, on this ground level, you see a plant. When you lift that plant, the plant's shoot alone will not come. The root will also come. That is how they do one therapy, right? What is that? Root canal. So they remove that tooth, right? So root canal. First they will take it from the root. So when you take that plant, besides the drishta bhagam called shoot, you also see the adrishta bhagam, that which is not seeable, the root. So when Krishna lifted the mountain, you have to imagine now, he lifted the mountain. The root of the mountain also came. Okay, so there was a cavity there. You're able to get, because when you take away the root, it is a cavity. Now in that cavity, all the cows, the calves, the gopas, the gopakumaras settled. Till now it is understandable? He says, Adhomukhavastita meru kalpam. He reversed the mountain. Sir, that we have not seen, because in most Pumbuhar exhibition, if there is a granite Govardhana, he will lift and the mountain will be like a triangle, correct? Toblerone and the sweet chocolate and the triangle Krishna would have lifted, correct? But Vedanta Desika says Adhomukhasthavita, he reversed the mountain. This is what Vedanta Desika says. Alvar also concurs with it. He says it was reversed. Why? He gives lot of reasons. Then only the cows will get grass to eat. Now people started cooking below. In that place also there was cooking. They are like our cooking team. Wherever you put them, they will start cooking. So they started cooking. Right? These people started, what will you cook for the cows? See, it needs grass. So Krishna was very compassionate to the cows first. Many of your children these days, appa amma enna saapradalo illaya naikku modala saapadu pottunga. They're concerned or not. One way it is good that they are compassionate towards animals, but Shastram wise it is not a recommended thing. But if we say this, some people will get angry. Why? Because there are a few reasons mentioned for it. One, you can support the animal. See, you go to a shelter, a dog shelter, a cat shelter, pay 50,000 a year, go once a week, pat. But inside the house, it is said that you should not keep those animals. See, this is a very controversial subject. Some of them will not even come for the next yatra. That it is that controversial. Some people don't like being called Nai. We don't know. But we don't know the name of that. Now the point is, agreed that dogs are very loyal. Agreed that they are at times more loving than our own children. That also I agree. See, there is no dispute about the love what that animal shows on us. The dispute is not about that. Shastram says that in your house, let not that hair fall. Now you may say, no, that hair falls and we are very prosperous, have the dog. See, the point is not that. I agree, in my childhood I used to have relatives in whose houses there used to be dogs. I played with them. See, I have nothing against dogs. Some people will take this clip and say, Dushyanth is against dogs. I have nothing against them. I have nothing against cats. Yes, Shastram recommends the only animal that you can domesticate is the cow. That is also not possible. That also I agree, because you live in the 18th floor in a building. Where will you keep the cow? First of all, how will the cow reach your house? In the service lift? How will it come? And maintaining a cow is not an easy thing. Every half an hour it will lay its dung. Clean panninde irukano. That is another process. So my point is, yes, maintaining cows is equally tough. Though it is recommended, it is not easy. That way you can go to a goshala. Every year you can support the goshala. That is fine. Similarly, you go to a dog shelter, pay that money. But in the house they say, let not the hair fall. This is what Shastram says. I don't know what is the exact reason. You may ask, tell us a scientific reason. Has there been an academia journal? There's been research paper. I don't have any research paper. If you want to have dogs, have dogs. Please don't get me wrong. I'm talking from the Shastram perspective. They say don't have dogs. See, when if they were against animals, then they should say don't have cows also. They are not against cows because Bhairava Murti, if you know of Bhairava Murti of Shiva, has a dog in the back. When we explain in Tennacharya Sampradayam the concept of Sharanagati, it's called Marjaraka Kaishoranyayam. We use the cat. Cat is used very frequently in Sanskrit poetry. So no, Sanatana Dharma is not against even a single animal. We use donkeys for explanation. We use cats, we use dogs, we use cows, we use all wild animals. The question is not about hatred. Again, get the point. If you have a dog, can I tell you one simple solution? As of now, you raise it, nourish it like your own child. Fine. After the dog's lifetime is over, don't buy another dog. In some houses, 10. In one house, they said, "Sir, inga nammathukku varano, varen. Nammathla 10 naai valakrom." See, first of all, I have noticed one thing. Dogs have never liked me. I don't dislike dogs. They don't like me. If I go, that very moment they start barking. So, but the host will be a very nice person. But I also know certain dogs they may bite. That's a different thing. But my point is, I'll make it very simple. If at all there is one animal that you can domesticate, it is the cow. If it is not possible, support a goshala. Rest of the animals, go to the shelter and give whatever you can. Don't raise is what Shastram says. But beyond this, those who raise will have a good heart. I have nothing against them. I'm telling you from Vyasapeetham, something I have to tell as a suggestion. I cannot just keep on telling, oh, that's also fine. This is also fine. I cannot go with the wind and say whatever you do is right. Even if I invite enmity, I have to tell the truth. That is what a Vyasapeethacharya does. Right? I cannot be here to please you. I cannot speak untruth, right? I have to tell you what is there in the Shastra. Now, Krishna lifted the hill because he wanted food for the cows. So he reversed the hill. See, it's a very important point. He reversed the hill. Now, it was pouring. Can you even imagine? 7 days. Cloudburst. Not cloudburst on one day, 7 days. So dark clouds. It appeared as if Indra with his dark clouds had descended. It was just touching the peak of Govardhana. No light. But Vedanta Desika says, there was light. How? For this he gives the example that Bhagavan's eye, one eye was the sun. The other eye is the moon. Chandra Surya Ucha Netre. Correct? So with that he held it like this. Now the rays of the light that fell on his ring, and it had multiple gems, there were rays of light which came and it appeared like an umbrella, it seems. He was holding, just imagine the poetry there. Now from the top of the hill water is coming, right? It is pouring. So in that circumference of that hill there was water, and it appeared like beautiful decorations to the umbrella. Can you think of a circular umbrella with those nice hangings? So water was pouring from its sides. The spokes were the light rays that came from Krishna's gems, and the light that fell on the gems was the light that came from his eyes that looked like the sun and the moon. Imagine that umbrella. So he says, Alabdha Suryendu Karapraveshe. Surya Indu Karapraveshe. In his hand, the light came, and through that his eyes were revealed. Chandra Surya Nayana Prameya Vagindra Janaka Sakalesha Shubhra Nagendra Shayana Shamana Vairi Sannuta. So he says, this is the beauty. Suryendu Karapraveshe Mule Girerava Satam Jananam Swalochana Dvandva Vihara Bheda Naktandinanyatanute Smanathaha. So that was his eyes. So this is what he says, and Krishna held the hill. This is where Narayana Tirtha comes up with a composition. Patita Sura Ripu Padapa Brinda. Sura Ripu Padapa Brinda. You're able to get the meaning? Padapa. What is Padapa? I've told this in lecture. Very good. Padena Pibati iti Padapa. What is the other name for a tree? Padapa. If someone says Padapa, it means a tree. Vedanta Desika uses in one verse. Padapa, 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 Padapa. This is the verse. It's an easy verse, sir. This we will remember. Padapa, Padena Pibati, because tree is the one that drinks through its foot. Will you add water to its leaves? To its foot you have to add. Padapa. So Narayana Tirtha says, Patita Sura Ripu Padapa Brinda. So he is like Kalpaka Vriksham. Pavana Charita Paramruta Kanda Natya Rasogata Nana Bharana Narayana Tirthachita Charana Govardhana Giridhara Govinda Gokula Palaka Paramananda Govardhana Giridhara. So there was an Annakutotsavam today.